Welcome to House of Hybrid channel, and today the tutorial video is how to replace a 12 volt battery on a 2014 Chevy Volt, and it will be the same process for the 2010 all the way to 2016. So first thing, this is the basic tool that we're gonna need. Is a 10mm ratchet battery for to disconnect the connectors of the battery, a 13mm socket. It's good to have a flat screwdriver, and 10 and 13 socket. I like to always have a magnet to pick up some bolts, and I'm gonna use, but it's not a must, to have an electrical screw. So we will prop the trunk up, and the battery is located at the trunk. So in order to, we will need to remove the trunk mat. Those cars, everything is located under the trunk. So in order to work on this area, you have this little cord here that you can tie into the side. This way we will avoid to that fall on you on your work. This car, they do not have spare tires. So what they do have is a little air compressor where you plug and you will inflate your bad tires. Okay, so this is located on this. The batteries, in case you need to jump or anything, access this, there's those two caps here. That this one gonna be the positive. You just remove this, the positive, it will be here. So you access the positive here, and here will be the negative. Also remove those two. We'll put on the side now. So, but in order to replace the battery, you have to remove this whole case here. So the best thing to do, so you will be getting your 10mm, and you use my magnet here, and you will remove all the four. So I like to get the magnet here to get all the. So we remove all those 10mm nuts. Now we need to remove this whole case here. So in order to remove that, it's better if you can move this thing up. Remove this. Now we can see the battery. Okay, so the battery, you have a junction box on top. So you need to pull this cover out, and you will see the whole thing. So you can either use the ratchet to disconnect it here. You lose this a little bit and lose this one a little bit. So always on when you touch the 12 volt battery, it's recommended to you start with the negative first. So you start from this side here, and the reason for is because when I'm working on this one, in case I touch here, I'm touching the negative into any ground on the car. It's not a problem. But then you remove the negative out of here. Okay, you remove. Now there's no more current. You're not gonna close the circuit anywhere. So when I touch this part here, in some case you might can touch this into any ground, and then it can short the system. So that's why it's better to start with the negative. And in order to put it in, we do reverse. We start with the positive, and for last we put the negative. So we already removed the negative one. Now we're removing the positive one. The positive is, you use the screwdriver just to open a little bit, to give them a little more room. And now you need to pry in order to pop out. So it's out now. And there's a little, so you pull to the side. Now it's all good. Now we're gonna use our 13 millimeter in order to remove this bracket here. Remove this and pop the ventilation off and ready to go. So then just make sure when you order the battery, go by the specification of your car. See how many CCAs you need and everything for those cars, and put exactly what you need, not less. You can go a little over, but not less. Okay? So and to put it back in, it's just the reverse process. We're gonna slide that in here. You slide the vent back in place. Then you're gonna get this. Push screw into in place. Now it's holding place. Now we're gonna start. Remember, now we're starting from the positive first. So we already set it. Now we push that in. I recommend you to get your screwdriver, put on the side, not on the pole. You put on the side. Just tap a couple times just to make sure that goes all the way down. Now you type. Now it's safe to work on the negative one. Now if you touch anything, everything here is negative, so you won't do any short circuit. Okay, same thing here. You tap a couple times just to make sure that's all the way down. And don't over tie too, you don't want to strip the bolts. Now battery is complete, and we're going to reverse the process of putting everything back in. We get the case here, just slide in place. And we will put those 10 millimeter. Put the covers back in. Covers back in. Now you can see those little tabs. Those tabs, it's gonna lock this in place. Okay, so you need to make sure that you go in, and then there you go. Now you put the match. Okay, so that's it. Now, ready to the road. I hope that was helpful, and I see you next video. Thank you.